US Highway 285, Colorado. Just the other side of Kenosha Pass from Denver. And we've got 50 or 70 miles to go, something like that, to our destination. But there's gonna be a bit of a delay. It sure is gorgeous country up here. The parking lot aside. We had a couple of detours picked out, but we passed them by because the app on her phone said that the delay here was down to 3 minutes. What to believe, what to believe. The Blue Moon Ranch. Aspens. Dust. Our turn around and take the shortcut road is a rough one, but nothing little red pearl can't handle, right? Hell, the ways back I saw a U-Haul coming at us and a fancy little pull-along camper trailer. You just take it slow. Pretty soon we'll be back to the pavement at Highway 9. Highway 9. One more mile to Highway 24. We came from up here. And we are now in Poncha Springs. A couple miles west of Salida, a couple more miles south of Buena Vista. And yes, I am saying that right. Crossroads of the country, US 50, one of my favorite old roads ever, and US 285, which comes down from the Denver area, Bailey, Colorado, and whatnot. Monarch Pass was opened for auto travel in 1921. It wasn't even an oiled road till 1931. "99 hot springs in the area of Poncha Springs. Later, Poncha. The Collegiate Peaks, Monarch Pass up there. The Collegiates run north-south up toward Buena Vista. That's the way to Monarch, the way we're going eventually. And that's the road back a few miles into Salida. which was always my favorite little town along this stretch. US Highway 50. Way up high in Colorado, 9,000 feet or so. The town is called Monarch, home to the Monarch Lodge. That's where we're staying on this special night. It's the 4th of September, and it is cold up here at 9:30 at night. The wind be howling. It's definitely already autumn here.
Oh, that was you. It wasn't the machine.
Welcome to Monarch. The Lodge of Faded Glory. So, Salida, Colorado has always been sort of my ideal of a Colorado town, but it turns out that I really didn't know the half of it. The downtown is a mile and a half off the highway. There's a guy doing the gallery thing, but also the mobile thing for his oil paintings. This is incredibly impressive. There's the howl over there. So as far as we've been able to tell so far, the one downside is that the it looks like COVID might have killed the sweet little Simple Foods market. There is a Safeway. And I'm being informed, a natural grocer. So that was definitely here, natural grocer. Oh. All right, maybe we'll have to go take a look. Blocked off street. Usually a good sign. Somebody thinks you're hot. All right, so there is the good food problem solved. It is not the Simple Foods Market that we were hoping to find. It is not a co-op, but if I have an opportunity to shop at a Whole Foods and that's all there is, I'll do it. But I would prefer a Sprouts, and even more than a Sprouts, I would prefer a Natural Grocers. Sprouts has the edge though for produce, but you know, we're exploring other options for produce as well, like with Misfits Market, shipping straight to you. So, okay, I get the peaks too. Yeah, so you could run over and fill in at Safeway. Yeah. So I was prepared after the adventure in Del Norte, or excuse me, in Salida earlier. I was prepared to love Del Norte, Colorado, 30 years on, at first sight. I spotted the Simple Foods Market, which we had thought was in Salida, right away, so I pulled right over, especially since there's the Perks coffee shop right next to it, which says open, but it is not. And I walked the Del Norte Main Street for a little ways and came right on back to where I was parked, which is the Raisin Rye Micro Bakery, which says, as you can see, coffee. And as you can see from the beginning of this clip, they do in fact have some really nice looking Kenyan beans in bags right there. But when I walked in the door, the nice young Mennonite lady explained to me that they had no drip coffee, that it was all espresso. Why they don't have drip coffee when they have beans in bags right there, your guess is as good as mine. And so I spent my last literal $5 in cash for an Americano. And in spite of the fact that Del Norte is up at 7,800 feet, and that the Rio Grande River is already quite a big healthy thing right here, and the fact that they have a Simple Foods Market, Del Norte is, in my humble opinion, not the winner I was hoping for. You can't have everything. Where would you put it? I am in the middle of some beautiful mountains and some little US highway roads. And I do have the secondary cup of caffeine at least, right here in my hand. I'm more grateful than I can tell you. Let us proceed with US 160 West toward Pagosa Springs. When you tell me that you love me, I don't think you're lying. But the fact remains that because of something in you or something in me, or something in us, or something that is something else, I don't feel loved. I don't even feel understood. Sometimes I feel a little heard. But mostly, I have to fight and examine closely to find evidence that I am even being heard. This is the way we live. The way we live. The way we live. Slow. Big. Struggling to get what we want. Even what we need. We need dirt. This is the first clip that I'm filming for October 2023. I am at a place called I-40 eastbound, exit 59, the DW Ranch Road. There's a Love's here now. Cheapest gas I've seen since leaving Vegas. Another new motel going up there. The purpose of this road is to exit the freeway and go on up into the Wallapai Mountains. Those are them. I don't remember if I've ever been all the way to the top, but I used to pull off right about here, like say about 15 years ago when I was running back and forth to San Francisco all the time. And almost always, even though I was getting here a lot later than this, and only stopping to crash if I was desperately tired in the middle of the night, I was usually the only person here. The only person pulled off for a little bit of rest. Not an official rest area, not an official campground. But the times in America have changed. There are half a dozen, at least, RVs and other assorted vehicles sitting over there. And there's maybe close to a dozen more, pretty much taking up the entirety of the available pull-off parking. I don't know if I can say this ain't right. It's not the usual way, though. It's a sign of hard times. That's some other set of mountains out there, and in between the mountains and where we're sitting here on DW Ranch is the lights of Kingman and a serviceable sunset. Not all that gorgeous from Arizona standards, but not all that bad. As I mentioned, I'm on my way back to the Verterre Ranch from Las Vegas one more time. And if you read my writing, you will know that right here, right now, at this very dusk, my life begins again. I am once more a free man, with all the solitude that I can care to handle, which is a lot. Over there, a few hundred more miles, couple hundred more miles, there's a roof and a bed and a Le Creuset pan, or half a dozen of them. There's good coffee yet to be ground. There's everything a boy could need. Or an old senior of the male persuasion. And that word need is important. It's far from all I could want, but it is all I could need. And so October begins. All Spirits Eve approaches. The cold nights have already kissed us a time or two. And they will kiss us harder and harder as the weeks go by, as Thanksgiving turns to the big holiday, turns to a new year. I got an old ancient working furnace. I've got a Chinese diesel heater that I intend to use to fill in the gaps. By the time the winter's over and I no longer need one, I might even have a wood stove installed, but there's time enough for all of that. To begin this October, to begin this life over again, these little vistas, barely off the interstate, are enough to get us started. Goodbye for now, Wallapies. Goodbye for now, interstates. Me and the old E350 here are gonna drop it back on the big road, head it east, and God willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be home before midnight.